Hello! In this video I want to show you how I built my new computer. A little bit background, I was searching a new computer to do some programming stuff in my university or show the teacher what I've done. So I did not need too much power. But I needed a very light one and a very small one. So it wouldn't bother me to carry it around, right? So I searched around a little bit for notebooks, but they are very expensive and still very heavy. So if I want to get under 1 kilogram, I have to pay like $1,000 or more than $1,000, and this is what I don't have. And then I actually found my Raspberry Pi 2 and the 7-inch screen, which I bought for a very different purpose, and I thought, well, that's a very light and a very small computer. After spending hours and hours making a very nice case, I took the rather cheap approach for actually fixating the screen and the case itself, because I could not make any screws in here because I did not know if I would screw up then. Haha, what a joke. So I'd rather took the very nice cheap approach, but it's actually really good. I will start to use this from now on as my programming computer. I will skip how I actually prepared the screen. If you want to know how I did it, just check the video with a disassembling Raspberry Pi 7-inch screen. Then you will see how I made it actually very much lighter. Although the Pi in total size is very small, it's still very thick because it has the GPIO ports, the USB ports, and the network port. So I bended them all over somehow, which will make the whole Pi very flat. I used plastic glass or plexiglass as the main case because it's very light and pretty easy to work with. First I cut every edge, and on the one side I put some holes in it for the connectors, and then I glued everything together with a nice glue gun. I exchanged the metal plate of the screen with the paper, which works pretty well, and I glued the controller of the screen with the glue gun to the paper, which works actually pretty well. The first mid result of gluing everything together, I did a little mistake, so I had a not straight edge on one side. By the way, the knife on the yellow side is the knife I used for cutting the edges, which is pretty awesome. Everything already fits together very nice. Okay, let's check out the weights of the various parts. I drilled some small holes in the case such that the screws will fit inside so I can fixate the Pi. This is a picture from the outside, so the screws actually stick a little bit out, but it's not actually bothering me here. And it is working. Actually, I was not sure in which direction I placed the screen on this case, but fortunately all the connectors are on the top, which is pretty perfect. After doing some general setup for the Pi, I figured out that it gets a little bit warm, probably because there's not so much space. So I decided to make some holes under the chip so we have just a little bit of airflow, and one hole next to the connectors. And as I was already working there, I kind of made it a little bit nice, and then figured out that my name was written upside down. And then I also found a nice switch there, and I decided to put a switch on my screen so I could just switch it on and off whenever I want to maybe save some light without doing anything software stuff, right? The intention with the switch was to, switch the display on and off, but it turns out that the Raspberry Pi shuts down whenever I try to switch the display on again. So I can only switch it off and then leave it off. But it's not totally in vain. I found this nice feature. At the moment the screen is off, and I have connected the Raspberry Pi with my screen over here. And as there's no power for the Raspberry Pi screen, it will automatically power the HDMI screen for me, which is pretty nice. If I then turn the screen on, the Raspberry Pi will restart on the internal screen. This is not the best behavior, but at least this makes my effort not totally in vain. This is the final result of my Raspberry Pi case with the built-in screen and only, I don't know, about 400 grams.